The folks at Jenko Fishing not only bring you the Low Budget Live podcast, they also bring you all the action. Like the action that brand new tin cannon walking bait puts out there that makes fish go crazy, or the bait we're very excited about, just released at ICAST. The Dawn Minnow has a rolling action like nothing you've ever seen, especially paired with the Revolution jig head. Amazing, amazing combo right there if you're into the minnow shaking, and a lot of you are out there. I promise you, the Dawn gets a bite. They're all available right now at jenkofishing.com, and just for listening to this show, you can save 20%. Use code LBL20 at jenkofishing.com. Just for being a low lifer, you get 20% off. Sounds like a pretty good deal to me. All right, we got to hang the banner. That's right, the Bassmaster Classic winning original all-welded aluminum bass boat. I just got that X21 Pro back in the garage, the Espresso, as I am referring to it, the beautiful Express 21 Pro. I've got a little bit of tan sea deck in that bad boy this year. Still got that 250 Yamaha Show. Best hole shot in the game, more tackle storage than you can shake a stick at. Don't just take my word for it. Find a local dealer. Go sit in one. Go drive one. You will not regret it. Express Boats, building excitement since 1966. Damn them. It happens every night. Every old night. And I ain't never met a riverboat dealer that could ever be a friend of mine. Nope. Haven't. Summer heat never treats me kind. It leaves trouble on my mind. So I'm bidding farewell, putting in my notice, and I'll see you at another time. Sing it. This highway does not know my name. Hang on. I wrote this like 13 years ago. I was on the road a bunch then. And I said this highway doesn't know my name, but I'm starting to think maybe it does because I'm on the highway a lot. Anyways, continue. I'm on the highway more than I'm at home. Continue. On with the program. Just a white line gypsy getting out of Mississippi with just enough gas to get there. Low budget live, the not so live variety, brought to you by, presented by the folks at Jenko Fishing. You can use code LBL20 at jenkofishing.com to save on the new Dawn Minnow, the Revolution head, all that good stuff. And we are not bringing you this from the Low Budget Live Bar and Grill. We are bringing you this from the Low Budget Live back porch on a lazy Sunday morning, trying to rest back up to turn around and leave again. And you may be asking yourself, as a low lifer, why in the world is Luke just laid up having a Topo Chico on a Sunday morning early? It's because I loaded up all this podcast gear. Okay. Loaded it all up, took it to Logan Martin for the NPFL with the intent of recording a podcast for the week there. This is the podcast for Monday, September 29th. Had great intentions. The week kind of got away from me. It was kind of a little crazy. Had a lot going on at the tournament and outside of the tournament as far as work and different things. I did not get one recorded. Okay. Did not get one recorded. So we're recording today. I am home for 48 hours. Got home late last night, turning around and rolling back to Lake Hartwell. Fingers crossed. There's a hurricane a brewing, but fingers crossed, rolling out to Lake Hartwell to go work the NPFL championships. Top 40 guys from last year's circuit, forward-facing sonar, will be used this week. Get your keyboard fingers ready, folks. So they'll be playing off of the 2024 rules. But yeah, I got to turn and burn, turn around and go there, and then I turn from there and go to Florida on a work trip. I'm not going to be home for a while. Got a lot coming up. So This was all in the truck. The back porch was closer than the bar and grill. I am lazy. I am old. I am fat. I am tired. But we're gonna do a little low budget hang this morning. I appreciate each and every one of you tuning in each and every week. Huge shout out to y'all that showed up for NPFL Live this week. Numbers looked awesome from what I heard, and it just means a lot, man. Fat Cat and I, we're grateful we get the opportunity to be the host there, and we care about so many of those anglers. We've known a lot of them since year one. We care about ownership there and being a part of it. It's awesome, man, because it's been a roller coaster. It's not always easy, and hasn't always been easy for those guys. And it's cool that a lot of folks have tuned in this year. So we greatly appreciate that. I want to start with that, man. I just feeling a gratitude. Man, I say this a lot these days because I think as I get older and you go through a lot of things, your perspective changes for sure. And life has certainly been wild, especially in the last year. It's been wilder than it should have been in certain instances, whether that's business or family life. And man, when you just look around, and the bass fishing community is so awesome for the most part, solid individuals around every corner that become like family, family and friends on the road. And I don't know, man, just really grateful this morning, and grateful for a lot of things. Tell you a quick crazy story. So I left Logan Martin, did not go to the final weigh-in because my family and I, in Nashville, every fall there's a music festival called the Pilgrimage Festival. We're actually going back this afternoon, but I went and met them last night. So I drove almost 4 hours from Logan Martin to meet them. My buddy Ryan Engelman and Turnpike Troubadours were playing, and got to see Ben Ballou, his lovely wife Anna there, and hang out with them a little bit. But a couple, just three of the fat rascals at the Pilgrimage Music Festival. You're welcome, Turnpike. We let you utilize our lead guitar player again. But got to go up and see those guys. Hadn't seen them in a minute, and but met Marissa and the kids up there. And before I got to hang and see everybody, Marissa calls me in a panic because my youngest stepson, Wes, who had just turned 19 the day before, passed out just stone cold at the festival. EMTs, the whole deal, before I could get there. So all good. All is well, but when I got there, he did not have much color, and they were running IVs through him at a music festival. So it was his first time going to the Pilgrimage Music Festival. He won't ever forget it. But wild times, as I've said, it's always something. I joked with Ben Ballou. Him and Anna have a third child on the way, and I said, y'all need to add a couple more because every stat's like 1 out of 5 or 4 out of 5 because we've got 5 together, me and the triple threat, and it's always something. I'm just going to tell you, we're blessed, got great kids. It's always something, though. It's always something. So shout out to my dude, Wes. Happy birthday, belated birthday. And I'm glad that you caused a scene and got some attention at the Pilgrimage Festival. But all is well. He's feeling better. But, yeah, I rolled right in from Logan Martin into that. We didn't get into late last night. Woke up this morning and decided to do this. So getting to spend a couple days with the fam, though, and then again, turn and burn. I'm gone. I think this next run might be, 7, 8, 9 days, something like that. I haven't looked at it because I hate looking at a calendar, to be honest, at this point. But when I get back from that trip, Hudson is going to be celebrating his 18th birthday. So I'm getting older, and these kids are getting grown on us around here. That is for sure. So let's talk NPFL event there on Logan Martin. Could not have been any tighter as far as the weights. Kind of expected that going in, though. I've worked several Alabama bass trails there. It's kind of the program on Logan Martin for the most part. Tons of fish, tons and tons and tons and tons of bass, but catching 2.5 to 4 pounders, 4 pluses. They go a long way. I don't care what time of year it is. Those quality fish can just be few and far between. Not to say it doesn't have them in it, because it does. It's a tricky fishery, man. Such a cool lake, though. And Scott Canterbury, if you haven't seen, you haven't heard, was able to pull off the W there. Number 2 of the year in the National Professional Fishing League. A cool $200,000 this season. 2 shields, unbelievable, and very, very happy for Scott. Obviously, we don't pull for one angler or the other. We want everybody to be able to do good as they want to do, right? But knowing Scott as long as I have, I knew that one meant so much to him. I had talked to him at an Academy Sports and Outdoors open house with the Alabama Bass Trail a couple weekends ago. He wanted this one, man. He wanted this one, and him telling stories on live about him and his dad, which made me emotional, to say the very least. Some of the spots, he caught a 6-pounder on day 2 on a place that he and his dad fished a ton, and he told that story on live. And then he's like, "Yeah, I'm taking a trip down memory lane right now." And rolls up, catches a 3-pound spot off of a dock on memory lane, and it was more of the same on Showdown Saturday on the final day there. Stories he's telling about, "Yeah, man, I have fed 100 people off of this dock with crappie, and I've won so many tournaments on this stretch. This is the stretch me and my dad always start on, for years." That kind of thing. Unreal, man. Those stories never get old in bass fishing, and I think that's what's so special about the outdoors is, it could be in the air. For me, it's like when I go down to the farm and I hunted with my dad so many years, like it's chert and it's pine and it's rough, clear cut, timber company kind of stuff, and man, it just the memory, you just smell them. Honestly, it's I expect him every time I'm down there to just come riding up, and at any point, to be honest. And it's crazy how when you are in the outdoors, and I know when you're outside of that, you have family memories, obviously, but it seems like these bonds that we forge in the outdoors are so strong. So it was cool hearing that from Canterbury, and I can certainly relate, and so many of you listening can as well. I have no doubt about it. So shout out to Canterbury. Congrats, buddy. He even got a roll tide out of me. I should probably whisper that. There are Tennessee fans that listen to this. He did get a roll tide out of me, and that was only fair. I did that at the day 2 weigh-in when he took the lead. He got a roll tide out of me on an interview there, and I got him to sing Rocky Top when we were in Knoxville, and he won when we were up there at Douglas and Dandridge, right outside of Knoxville. And I told him if he won on Rocky Top that he had to sing Rocky Top, and he did. He obliged. So I did give a roll tide that ended up on the live stream, and it was an emphatic one too. So roll tide Canterbury, I'll give you that, until the 3rd Saturday in October, and then it's all business again. We are no longer friends. But Scott Canterbury, great event. Just live was just awesome in general. We had Hunter Bogman on day 3 there, Showdown Saturday. I've had Hunter on. Need to get Hunter back on the podcast, actually, but it's been a while. But Hunter is an amazing human being. I know a lot of you know his story, and just an incredible fisherman and outdoorsman all the way around. But I actually had started my week before the event there, stopped in Birmingham and did the Spencer Graves show at the iHeart Radio Studios there in Birmingham. Spencer is the country music radio host there in the mornings on 102.9 The Bull, the Spencer Graves show. Spencer fishes the Alabama Bass Trail with us, but he had invited me down to stop and do a little interview, have a little conversation, and I got there and he had Hunter in studio as well. So Hunter and I did a podcast with Spencer. Y'all make sure you go check it out. I'm not sure when it goes up. Maybe up by the time you're hearing this. But Spencer, super good dude, and ate up with bass fishing. But he had us on, and man, just hearing Hunter's stories, and he is, when you see people with disabilities, actual disabilities in life, and things that could be a setback, right? I mean, bacterial meningitis when he is an infant takes his legs, part of a hand. I mean, it's insane. And this dude is 99 miles an hour all the time, making jokes, making short jokes, making different things. Matter of fact, before we went live on the final day, his lovely wife, Andrea, said, "All I want is at least 5 legless jokes today from you and Fat Cat." And I said, "That's okay with you guys, but I think if we start making legless jokes to people that don't realize we're all family here, and that Hunter dishes it and can take it, it's amazing. He's unapologetically himself all the time." And I said, I think we'll probably get canceled. I did slip one in there on live for him that it was actually a joke Hunter had made on the Spencer Graves podcast. So if anybody wants to cancel me over that, sue me. But Spencer Graves asked Hunter, man, how are you so great at skipping baits under docks? I've seen you. And Hunter goes, it's because I'm lower to the water than anybody else. And he is incredible, dude. He was fishing docks, putting on a clinic on the final day, but he got him a top 10 there at Logan Martin. And Hunter's been with us all 5 years in the league, and he and his wife, we've seen their family grow. They've got 2 little girls now, got another one on the way. And again, it's just that fishing family, man. You're just grateful to get to be around really good people all the time in this sport, or a majority of them are good people. And the Bogman family is certainly, they represent that term well. All right, serious conversation time. Serious conversation. Just because I feel like in the grand scheme of things, and I've said this before, and I don't know why this is the case, but we'll kind of dissect it, I guess. Everybody wants to talk about young guns this, young guns that, and there's a lot of weight placed on the Trey McKinneys of the world, Tucker Smiths, Drew Gills, the young guns. They're pretty young. Obviously, Trey McKinney's right out of high school. Fisher and I is another up and comer that's gonna, doing well in the EQs. Great history on the Alabama Bass Trail, amazing support system, great angler. They're young guns. But I think what gets overlooked is we've got these guys that were quote unquote young guns. They're getting into their 30s now, and it's this age bracket from 30 to 40 in the sport of professional bass fishing. And I don't think they get enough hype. I don't think they get enough credit. And I'm going to name some names. I'm going to leave some names out too. And if you're one of these guys, this was that I leave out. It's not on purpose. It's because it's Sunday morning and I'm enjoying a Topo Chico. And this is a very loose, low budget live. But I'm talking about a guy we had on live for a couple days, Brandon Cobb. I'm talking about Shane LaHue. I'm talking about Justin Atkins. I'm talking, obviously, about Kyle Welcher, Zach Burge. Talking about Patrick freaking Walters. These guys, I know they get credit. Justin Hamner. And I know they get a lot of credit, but I don't think they get enough. And congrats to Patrick for winning the National Professional Fishing League Progressive Angler of the Year title in very dramatic fashion, I might add. I'll get to that in a second. But I've said it about Patrick on NPFL Live a number of times, said it on this podcast. I do not think in the overall bass fishing conversation he gets enough credit. Other guys I'm leaving out real quick. Dustin Connell, obviously. Jacob Wheeler, freaking nature. These guys, man, it's just, and obviously Jacob and DC, they get a lot of hype, a lot of credit, and well deserved. But I think Patrick in particular, and even Welcher, I just don't feel like they get their flowers enough. And I just we talk about the GOAT and all these debates all the time, and dude, Walters has won 4 NPFL tournaments. Okay. 4 all-time money winner over there 4 out of 5 years. This stat may be wrong, but I feel like I'm on the money with it. Pretty damn close anyways. I don't think he's ever finished outside of 15th place in the Bassmaster Elite Series Angler of the Year race since coming onto the scene. He's got college wins. He's got Opens wins. 5-time winner on the bass side of things. And dude is just not that old. He's not that old. And before you get on your forward-facing sonar keyboard, Bubba, he just won Angler of the Year in the NPFL that banned forward-facing sonar and caught the hell out of them all freaking year, along with Kyle Welcher and everybody else. And I just don't think he gets the recognition he deserves. I don't think Patrick's looking for it. Okay. Let me say that. I don't think Patrick's looking for it. Patrick's not all about that life. He's about catching freaking bass and winning money in tournaments. He's not about social media. He's not about all the things. If Patrick cared about all of that, dude, I'm putting him up there with those 3 letters K, V, and D. I'm serious. It's he starts stacking up some AOIs. He's got his first one now. I'm telling you, man, he's a problem. He is something to behold. Welcher's right there with him. They've been lockstep all year long. The seasons are starting to change a little bit, starting to be a little cool at night, and you better be ready for the fall and winter fishing season or hunting season. And you can do that by going to gillfishing.com. Make sure your rain suit is up to par for those cooler days, nasty days on the water. We're going to have a lot of fronts coming up. You want to be prepared. Get you some layering gear. Get you some hoodies. Get you some boots. Gillfishing.com. You can use code LBL20. That's right, 20% off at gillfishing.com on some of the best outdoor gear in the game. Tell them we sent you. Gillfishing.com, LBL20. Pro Guide Batteries. ProGuideBatteries.com is where you can find everything that they make. And why trust your battery game to someone that is a fly-by-night company? There are battery companies that pop up, I feel like, every week. The folks from Pro Guide have been in this battery business for over 40 years. They make some of the finest lead acid, AGM, and lithiums in the game, and now they have a new charger line. That's what I'm running in the Express this year. I've got a little bit of mix of lithium, AGM, and a Pro Guide 5-bank charger. Check them out, ProGuideBatteries.com. LBL10 will save you money just for being a lowlifer. Baitworks.com, bait-wrx.com, the exclusive online home for this little bad boy right here. The LOB Power Finesse Jig, finer than frog hair skirt material, custom trocar hook. It is jig season officially. This dude right here, this time of year, absolutely puts in the work. Dunkin-10, Dunkin-10 saves you money on that and everything else on the Baitworks site, baitworks.com. And last but not least, what's up, old boy? Old Boy Brands, Old Boy Outfitters out of Knoxville, Tennessee. They make some of the coolest lifestyle gear in the game, from their game day collections to their hunting and fishing tees, long sleeve hooded sun shirts, shorts. They got a little bit of everything. Hoodies, it's growing by the day. Oldboyoutfitters.com is where you can find it, and you can use code OldBoyLuke, Old Boy, O-L-E, boy, Luke, at checkout to save some money. In that Angler of the Year race with us over there at NPFL, we're actually tied. Welcher was ahead coming into the event. They were tied after day 1. Then on day 2, Pat slipped a little bit. Welcher maintained. Welcher had an 8-point lead going into yesterday's showdown Saturday. And all day long, of course, Patrick, he's a sandbagger. We know that. He doesn't like to tell you what he's got, even when he's fixing to cross the scales. He's a liar, okay? He loves it. I told him the only person I've ever met that's any worse than that is Brian Thrift. He's the king. Brian Thrift, definitely. Brian Thrift could be weighing him in, and 17 pounds could pop up on the screen, and he would look at you and tell you he had 14. He is a liar when it comes to the weight of his bass. Patrick is as bad as Brian Thrift. First day of the tournament, prime example, walks up, looks all, man, I'm just down in the dumps. Tells me he's got 8 pounds. Now, I'm not looking at it, looking in the weigh-in bag. Tells me he's got 8 pounds. Tells some of our media folks there, the Twin Visual boys, got 8 pounds. Walks up on stage, 15 pounds, 10 ounces. And I met him on the other side of the stage when he got on. I said, why? Why would you do that? We were all fixing to know. He enjoys it. It's a game to Patrick. He does the same thing on Bass Track. He does the same thing on NPFL's Catch Track. He enjoys it. It is a game to him. He's like Dale Earnhardt. He's like Nick Saban. You know, he'll tell you in an interview, he'll say a million things and never say anything. Just talks in circles. Never going to give you the goods. He's never going to give you the goods. But I'm telling you, in my opinion, 20 years from now, we're going to be talking about big-time Bass Fishing Hall of Fame, you know, just type career out of the dude, in my opinion. And look, I know a lot of people know he's incredible, obviously. But, damn, the dude is something. But final day at Logan, he's teasing us with his catch track numbers. We move a camera to Welcher, can't find Patty Walt to get one on him to move one, and we look really stupid. Fat Cat and I, we normally do, but I'm not going to say we just handed it to Welcher, but we weren't hearing from Pat. The way our unofficial leaderboard looked, we really did think Kyle had it. So we're interviewing Kyle. What do you think about the year? We're showing highlight packages. We did for Patrick as well. We just didn't have Patrick on live the final day. And Patrick weighs in almost 15 pounds. I'm en route to Nashville watching it and gets enough points between him and Kyle Welcher to win the Golden Shield from the NPFL, get his entry fees paid for next year, and Patty Walt. And now we're headed into a championship on a lake where he's won before in the fall, and we're bringing back forward-facing sonar. So does he get his 5th freaking NPFL win this coming week? I don't know, but it's going to be a fun one to watch as long as Hurricane Esmeralda or whatever in the hell it is don't blow us out of Green Pond Landing, because it's looking a little dicey. I'm not going to lie. It is looking a little dicey. But y'all comment below your that 30 to 40 age group, you know, because they were really the first group. Trent Palmer's another one, fishing the Bassmaster Opens right now. But these guys, they came out. Mike Corbishley, these guys have had success in the NPFL, success in the Open, success in college. But they're really, to me, that first group that came out of college, you know, that came out of those college ranks, that it really started with their group. You know, Jordan Lee, Matt Lees, Justin Lucas's. There's so many in that group that, man, I feel like we get hyper-focused these days. And I know I do it. There's so much youth in the sport. It's easy to go this guy. And a lot of their stuff is technology-based. We know that, and that's fine. Y'all know I pull for them. I think the fact that they're phenomenal with the technology that they grew up with is just as good as a guy being great at skipping docks. And that's Luke's opinion on that. But, man, that group in that age range I'm talking about, they're not only great with the forward-facing sonar stuff because they embraced it quicker than a lot of other anglers did, but they're fantastic at all of it. All of it. And it makes them dangerous because they grew up without it, then embraced it when it came out. So they already had all the other stuff. They were already successful without it. That age bracket, they're going to be a problem for a long time to come. It's just something I really just kind of woke up thinking about, ladies and gentlemen, low-lifers of all ages. It's wild to me. There's a friggin' bunch of them, and I'm leaving a ton out. And again, my apologies. My brain is scrambled eggs this morning for damn sure. But yeah, man, the quote unquote young guns, they're not so young anymore. You know, they get a little older. It's all right. But man, they're a problem. That group's a problem. I think if you know, I'm not a Ken Duke statistician or anything like that, but I think if you dug into the numbers of it, I think that group represents a hell of a lot of money that gets won in professional bass fishing, whether you're BPT, NPFL, the Elite Series, Toyotas, the Opens, whatever the deal is. I think that age range represents a lot of well-rounded dudes that can really freaking catch them. So the young guns ain't so young anymore, but they're still catching bass. Just food for thought. Comment if I'm leaving one of your favorites out. Argue with me, whatever you want to do in the comments. I know you will. That is for sure. We got a Bassmaster Open. Let me get a drink. I don't know, man. I love a Topo Chico. If that makes me bougie, so be it. I like a little carbonated water from time to time. All right, little twist of lime in it. We got a Bassmaster Open coming up this week. They're on Wheeler Lake, so on one of the home ponds there, Tennessee River. The second EQ event. Quick turn and burn for them after Champlain. I passed a lot of guys coming south on I-65 yesterday as I was making my way from Logan to Nashville. definitely rolling into town. I believe they're practicing right now. Definitely going to be a curveball for them compared to what Champlain was. Certainly not going to take that kind of weight to do good on Wheeler, but everything's going to take shape. The question will be, if you're not in the mix points-wise for an opportunity to make the Elite Series after this event, will you go to Okeechobee? That'll be the real, interesting thing to see. Will there be 50 boats at Okeechobee? Will there be a full field at Okeechobee? What's the deal going to be with that? But second one of those, and I'll say, man, the first one was entertaining. I thought Bass's coverage of the first one was absolutely incredible. Did a great job. Did a great job with it. I think, the guys that made that have paid a lot of money to be a part of it. I think they're giving them the right amount of coverage. There's one thing I wanted to look at real quick, if I can find it. Yeah, I wanted to, I want to close. This is just going to be a quick one, guys. Taking my gear with me to Lake Hartwell, fingers crossed that everything works out, but going to try to do a couple in-person conversations, interviews over there. Some of the NPFL guys that are in the championship, and have some good stuff for you for the following week. But I just want to say, man, as a father, I can't fathom losing a child. That should never be something that happens to you as a parent. And it's got to be one of the most difficult situations you could ever face in life. But this story about Peyton Hughes, the young man that apparently had a kayak accident at Toledo Bend. They were able to find his body. Young man was in college, was down there to fish I believe a Bassmaster kayak event, and lost his life. And I just want to say thoughts and prayers to his family, and wear your damn life jacket. I'm not saying that happened in this situation. I don't know any details. I'm just saying be careful. I am as bad about it as anybody at times. And that water can take you, man. It can take you quick. Y'all have heard my story from years and years ago in October on 26 on Wilson Lake that changed my life forever and should make me all but wear a life jacket when I'm standing next to the damn swimming pool. Water doesn't mess around, especially on these lakes that are just like the ocean, essentially, whether you're in a bass boat, a kayak, a pontoon, whatever. The water is it's not friendly, man. It's just not. It doesn't care. Doesn't care how good of a swimmer you are. It doesn't care how experienced of a boater you are. It doesn't care how old you are. It can damn sure get you, man. And it's just it's a freaking shame to see that we lost one of our bass fishing brothers there. So, man, hey, absolutely, we got that news during the NPFL. Terrible, absolutely terrible. So. Not to end on a bummer note here on this super chill Sunday morning podcast that we're doing that y'all are listening to on a Monday, but it's got to be said. It's got to be said, man. I want to pay tribute to that young man again, the Campbellsville University out of Kentucky student, and the age of some of my kids there. So not something you ever want to hear. That is for sure. You never want to read that. Never want to hear that. I hope each and every one of you are doing well out there. I appreciate all y'all. I'm going to take you out with some Biloxi Blues. I may have 2 episodes for you the next week. I may not even have one. Who knows? Fixing to pack this traveling circus up and take it back on the road there. Like I said, a quick turn and burn. And with the intent of bringing you some good in-person conversations that I'm looking forward to at the NPFL Championship. We are broadcasting real quick. All 3 days of this. I see comments from time to time on NPFL's page. Why don't y'all broadcast all 3 days? We are at the championship. So the first day should be the top 5 in the Angler of the Year standings from last year. So that'll be a rowdy bunch, a good bunch to follow along with. But we are going to be live Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, barring any major disasters from Hurricane Iamami Amalava or whatever it is there. Go Vols. The spaghetti models aren't looking great. All right. So if everything goes as planned, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, the weather and hurricanes in particular hate the National Professional Fishing League. Okay. They do. 2 of them 2 of them tormented us last year. So we shall see. But Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 3 days of live coverage. They will be utilizing forward-facing sonar again. So again, brush off them keyboard fingers. Karen, bring it. Let's go. I thought these guys didn't use forward-facing sonar. I can't wait. It will be a little confusing, though. Obviously, it was banned this year, but these guys qualify on the 2024 rules, so they're getting to utilize the 2024 technology. So that's what we're doing this week. Lake Hartwell, tune in. There will be a lot of bass caught. Fingers crossed we get to have the event like we want to. I will see y'all there. Here's some Biloxi Blues. Thanks for hanging with me on the porch. I may start doing this every now and then. Love you. See you. Bye. See you. Next time I'm going to cannonball in the pool. Promise. It's happening. See you. This highway, it does not know my name, and I don't care. No, I don't care. Heading my way for another place, and I got 3 good tires and a spare. Just a white line gypsy getting out of Mississippi with just enough gas.